My name is Arham and my topic is blockchain usage in the farming industry. I've decided to revisit which blockchain platform that I want to implement for my project because a lot of time has passed and there are new technological advancements. So I decided to go back and go through again and do some research on if I should continue with my intended platform. And my conclusion is yes, I will continue with Corda. So now comes to the question, why do I want to go with Corda and why is it suitable for the farming industry? Corda is an online platform for corporate blockchains that's available in an open source version as well as an enterprise version that has a protected firewall. Both can operate with one another without issue, and it supports Kotlin and Java, which has an immense wealth of resources and communities to accommodate the development. So how I plan to work with this platform is I build something that they call a Corda, which is essentially a localized blockchain, which I then, upon completion, connect to the greater network of blockchains that Corda houses. So the question is, why do I want to use Corda for the farming industry? The farming industry, as well as all industries in general, are comprised of enterprise networks which oversee protection, approval, and maintenance of sensitive information. In such networks, unidentified anonymous users with the likelihood of being unaccountable are a security threat. Such users threaten this network sanctity by causing interference in the proper operations of the system and potentially compromising the status of confidentiality. Corda acknowledges and addresses this security concern. Such users should not exist on the network in the first place, especially since strictly regulated enterprises such as the farming industry have strict security protocols to follow. Corda is permission-based, implementing a process of network admission. An actor is represented by a node on the network. All nodes are known to each other, and the design of the system is such that all unauthorized nodes are rejected. As a result of the lack of anonymity, the expectation of accountability rises, and that's why Corda is effective in this area. Furthermore, Corda was built with the thought in mind that it will be used by industries where large-scale transactions occur. These industries have different goals from that of public blockchains. In public blockchains, it is unknown who has ownership of the nodes in place. This raises the question of accountability and cannot be accepted from the perspective of a regulated industry where requirements of accountability and custody exist. Due to such a difference in approach by design, Corda aimed its design to incorporate settings for enterprises. One such design aim is pushing for accountability as mentioned prior. Another design aim towards enterprises is that Corda focuses its smart contracts by implementing the framework and content of familiar legal documents coupled with the business logic being codified. This is one very significant difference between Corda and similar existing blockchain networks out there. Corda's approach differs from the start. Its focus primarily starts from the operation of business processes as well as the legal language frameworks. Corda aims and attempts to address several concerns, and they are as follows: 1. Security. 2. Scalability. 3. Confidentiality and privacy. 4. Complexity. These concerns are addressed in various ways. For 1R3 states, and I quote, "On the grounds of confidentiality, we reject the notion that data should be broadcast to all participants or cumbersome predefined groups." Corda is designed and implemented to communicate peer-to-peer on a strict need-to-know basis. This differs from the similar alternatives out there. Examples would be Ethereum, which sends out a public broadcast, or the channel's direction taken by Hyperledger Fabric. In a Corda network, if party A transacts with party B, then only party A and party B need to know about it, and possibly a regulator entity. Corda nodes aren't granted nor share an all-seeing view. A specific view of a transaction is shared between party A and party B as it concerns them due to them being the parties directly involved. However, each party has information that the other does not have, and it does not require to be shared as it is only relative to each individual party itself, and not a requirement of the transaction. Furthermore, party C, which has no involvement in the transaction whatsoever, does not receive any indication that a transaction has occurred or exists. So now is the actual practical work that I have done so far. I've downloaded a lot of the softwares that are needed, which is Git, JDK, IntelliJ, and also Gradle, which is compatible with IntelliJ. And these are all necessary to run my project successfully. And I've been getting familiarized with them and trying to get used to them. And furthermore, I've set up a GitHub account and I have incorporated the repositories for Corda's templates, and their samples. After that, I've gone through some tutorials that are on the Corda's training guide and website, and they're quite in depth on how to get familiarized and to get the project up and running. And on YouTube, I went through their Corda Bootcamp, which is a step-by-step demonstration and guide on how to go through various things and tools on Corda itself. And now you can see here that I have some code running. I've been working on the code here, and I've been testing it out as I go. So now the challenges that I faced, one of the things that I found difficult was getting used to the Git commands, because I haven't had much practice with those or have much experience with those in my own degree life. And the second issue was the JDK issue. When I was going through the tutorials and samples and bootcamp, I was like so confused why my stuff was not working, why my code wasn't working. And I found out that for Corda, I needed like an older version of the JDK, which was version 8 and not the newer one. And then there's IntelliJ. IntelliJ, because the JDK wasn't working, I was so confused. Why is IntelliJ showing me so many errors? And then I had to go deeper and deeper into figuring out how IntelliJ works exactly. But now that I'm a bit more familiar with it, I realize that it's actually a very, very useful tool to have. Furthermore, as the knowledge gaps, because what we learn in our degree life in terms of Java is very minuscule compared to all the stuff I have to learn for Corda. Corda has a lot of things I need to learn. This is because Corda has a huge amount of Java, and as well it's a hybrid like it's working is with a hybrid version of like Kotlin. Like they're both used together in the Corda's applications. Like you're not using one or the other, you end up having to use both. So that is something that took me a while to get familiarized with. Other than that, it's Corda itself, how there's so many different data types and structures that they have in their own implementation. Corda has so much tools and data structures and functions and methods that are so specific to them that they have built for themselves. So it's like, even though I have experience with Java, but at the same time I feel like I'm learning something completely new from scratch. Lastly, this is my plan of action, and I divided it into 2 phases. Currently I am at where the red circle is, which is designing my flow state program. After that, I plan to do the contract state and token states. And after that, I plan to make it very unique to the farming industry by designing the five parties that I have, which are the nodes: the farmer, processor, market, delivery, and notary. And then from there on, do the data and transaction information regarding to the crop that I have chosen, run some initial tests, and then go to phase 2, which is connect to the greater network of blockchains, which is Corda's network, and user interface and UX design.